song is to all of our little children, our hopes and dreams and visions for a brighter tomorrow. Brown baby, brown baby, as you grow up, I want you to drink from the plenty cup. I want you to live by justice code. I want you to walk down freedom road. Brown baby, brown baby, brown baby, as years roll by, I want you to go with your head held high. I want you to live by justice code. I want you to walk down freedom road. Brown baby, now lie away, sleeping. Lie away here in my arms while your daddy and mommy protect you and keep you safe from harm, you little brown baby, brown baby. It makes me glad that you have things that I've never had. When out of men's hearts all the hate is hurled, you're gonna live in a better world. Brown baby.
Wow. Well, let me tell you guys,
Beautiful.
he's always so nervous about what he is going to produce for us. And every time, he just knocks it out of the park. So
Yes.
thank you, Baba Jeff. That was just so absolutely soul stirring and just beautiful. What an appropriate beginning to our Woze Youth Service. What a absolutely appropriate beginning. So thank you for that. Thank you. And let me tell you guys what's so special about what Baba Greg does for us on these Sunday mornings. It's the
Baba Jeff.
it is the joy that he has for what he is doing. Like I was when you see him, when he's thinking about it, when he's talking about putting these things together. So I'm just so glad that you have these beautiful gifts, and I'm so glad that you enjoy sharing your gift with us. So thank you. Next on our schedule this morning is Sister Zenzele, who will be bringing us the Candle of Justice. Would you come to us, please?
Hello, good morning. I can't tell if everybody can hear me. But good morning, I'm Zenzele Ubaka Coulter. And so today I'll be doing the Candle of Justice. Coming out of Women's History Month, there was a lot of just celebration of women's accomplishments internationally. But one thing that was brought to my attention in an effort to raise awareness was also just talking about the lack of safety for women in the world right now. So I saw a statistic from the World Health Organization that said 1 in 3 women, I believe, experience violence in their lifetimes. And that's a really, really alarming number. And so for today, my Candle of Justice is just going to be bringing awareness to trying to increase women's safety locally, internationally, nationally. We have so many family members close to us, you know, women in our lives, mothers, daughters, wives, children, etc., you know, that are just out in the world, and it may not be the safest place for them to be right now. So just doing your part, you know, men, women, children alike, if you see something, say something, and being a shelter for people who may not always have that outlet. And then kind of on an opposite end, I wanted to just celebrate Tanzania just got a female president, the first female president of the country, Samia Suluhu, I believe is how it's pronounced. So again, just talking about what can be accomplished when the women in our lives are being uplifted, celebrated, and protected in, you know, appropriate matters internationally, locally, etc. I didn't have much else prepared. I don't have a candle. I'm at a friend's house. Well, I have a candle, but I don't have a lighter. So I'm going to light my hypothetical candle here, and everyone at home do the same, just to bring more awareness to women's safety internationally. Thank you.
Ashe, thank you.
Zenzele, beautiful Candle of Justice. I'm sure that many candles have been lit throughout the country now for you, and I'm going to light one more. Thank you so much. You guys see this Ubaka Coulter clan is deep, right? It's a deep clan, and they are proving themselves worthy of the names behind them. Thank you so much. And next,
Mama Darnisha.
Yes.
Can I ask you really quick? Who was the young sister Nasette? Whose child? Do you know whose child or?
That's Minister Alicia's daughter.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Hi.
Oh, sweet.
Yes. So now we will have the Watoto from Georgia who are going to lead us in a song.
Greetings, Wose. We're next presenting Heru Ubaka Blackmore, and he is doing a live piano presentation of Red Rose Rendezvous. It's a jazz waltz.
Ashe.
Ashe, ashe,
Ashe.
ashe.
Nice.
All right.
Yes, and another beautiful presentation. Excellent, excellent piano playing. We really enjoyed that. We've got a lot of talent. This is the generation that's coming up. Next, we're going to have one of our Oakland young ladies, been with us since she was born. And happy to hear from little sister Jaliyah. We're going to have 2 historical tributes. So this is the first of 2.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Good morning. My name is Jaliyah. I'm in the 6th grade, and my historical tribute is on Christine Darden and her major accomplishments. Christine Darden was born September 10, 1942, as Christine Mann in Monroe, North Carolina. Is an African-American mathematician, data analysis, and aeronautical engineer who devoted much of her 40-year career in aerodynamics to NASA to researching supersonic flight and sonic booms. Starting from the age 3, Dr. Christine was brought by her mother to her own classroom where she taught, and at the age 4, Dr. Christine was enrolled in kindergarten. During elementary school, she took a great interest in breaking apart and reconstructing mechanical objects like her bicycle. Her mother tells the story of giving Dr. Christine, a talking doll when she was 5. Her mother was disappointed because instead of playing with it, Dr. Christine cut it open to see why it talked. Dr. Christine finished her last 2 years of primary school at Allen High School, a boarding school in Asheville, North Carolina. Dr. Christine graduated as the class valedictorian in 1958, subsequently receiving a scholarship to attend Hampton University, a historically Black college then known as Hampton Institute. During her studies at Hampton, she participated in some of the early protests of the Civil Rights Movement. She participated in several student sit-ins along with her other Black peers. Dr. Christine graduated from Hampton with a Bachelor's of Science in Mathematics in 1962. She also earned a teaching certification and taught high school mathematics for a brief time. Dr. Christine started working in the computer pool in 1967 at NASA after she had completed a Master's of Science in Mathematics at Virginia State University and taught there. By that time, computers were increasingly used for complex calculations to support engineers in design. But she wanted to do more than process data. She wanted to create it. After wading through the daily calculations for 8 years, Ms. Darden approached her supervisor to ask why men with the same educational background as her were being hired as engineers. Impressed by her skills, her supervisor transferred her to the engineering section, where she was one of the few male aerospace engineers at NASA Langley during that time. As an engineer, she worked on decreasing sonic booms in supersonic flight. She earned her PhD in mechanical engineering in 1983 with the support of NASA and became known for her research as one of NASA's permanent experts on supersonic flight and sonic booms. Dr. Christine was promoted as a manager, and she advanced to become one of the first African American women to lamely be promoted into senior executive service, the top rank in the federal civil service. Ms. Darden also received the Congressional Gold Medal in 2019 for her scientific contributions. During her 40-year career at NASA, she led an advisory team composed of representatives from industrial manufacturers and academic institutions, became the deputy program manager of the TU-144 experiments program, an element of NASA's high-speed research program. And in 1999, she was appointed as the director in the Program Management Office of Aerospace Performing Arts Center, where she was responsible for Langley research in air traffic management and other aeronautic programs managed at other NASA centers. Dr. Darden also served as technical consultant on numerous government and private projects, and she is the author of more than 50 publications in the field of high-lift wing design and supersonic flow, flap design, sonic boom prediction, and sonic boom minimization. Dr. Darden retired from NASA in 2007. She was featured in Maggie Lee Shetterly's book in 2016, Hidden Figures, alongside with Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson. This historical tribute is in honor of Christine Darden and her major accomplishments. Ashe.
Ashe.
Jalea,
Ashe, Ashe. Thank you.
Yes.
we are now going to have a song by the Watoto from Georgia. Would you all come to us once again?
We need to encourage folks to check their computers. If they're not speaking or doing something, to put them on mute.
Is it us?
Hey, Bill, can you hold up 1 second? Bill, can you stop it 1 second? Bill, can you stop it? Sister Mama Kane is going to introduce it. Mama Kane.
Yes, greetings again, we'll say. So the next selection you're hearing is also from our children here in Atlanta area. We have a really vibrant homeschool network, an incredible cultural community. So this group is called Egun Omode, and the instructor is one of our homeschool teachers for my grandchildren. So I hope you'll enjoy them in a live show. So please enjoy Egun Omode.
We are children of that knows the value of every drop.
Y'all been pretend I can behave. I live East Bay, spiritual with the squad. That's a Creek gang. Hold up, I got water. Pour it all on your head if you need to. You need to ball with the pizza. You want them hooks in the dance for a reason. We done black your soul out your chest. We like water, we are water in the flesh. High on metamorphosis, carry out, you carry me to happiness. I call you mommy water. Suki, umi, but I need water, so come and pour me. We are a good more day, getting ready to sing for you, the great Mujah. You already say yeah. I can't hear. blue lights, stop signs, Mr. Vision Light, police, boy, I'm blind, so if I come with 40 warriors with pistols, I suggest you murderers go running high, cause I'm tired of these killings, tired of these lies, watching my own village get gentrified. So if you see my mama, go and kiss her, cause her son is fighting for her life, screaming, I just don't die, water is life. I come with ties, this world is mine. You won't survive through my tsunami.
All right. Thank you for that presentation.
Yay.
Beautifully done.
Yes, yes.
Powerful message.
Today we're going to have a second historical tribute. This tribute is brought to us from Ikua, who is one more out of this bench from the Umbaka Kulture tribe. Come and show us something, teach us something new, Brother Ikua.
Sister. That's Sister Queer. That's
Sister.
my
Sister.
yeah, that's my favorite other favorite niece. Granddaughter.
Please accept my apologies, but come and bless us with some knowledge anyway.
Greetings, Wose. My name is Aquia Ubaka Blackmore. May I have permissions from the elders to continue?
Yes, you do, granddaughter.
Continue, yes.
Madase, Asante-san. Thank you. Today's historical tribute is about an ancestor who my ear says I share several of her good, strong traits, like being a singer, dancer, outspoken, independent thinker, and activist for our people. Her name is Zinzile Mariam Makiba. She was also known as Mama Africa, the Empress of African songs. She was born March 4th, 1932 in Johannesburg, South Africa. Her mother was a traditional healer and domestic worker. Her father was a teacher. Both of her parents played musical instruments, and her oldest brother collected records including Jazz from Duke Ellington and Ella Fitzgerald. Mariam started singing as a little girl and never stopped. As a child, she sang in the church choir in South African and English languages. But when she was 6 years old, her father died. Mariam had to work cleaning houses and babysitting to help her family because she had 5 siblings. For a while, her mother had to live away for her job. So Mariam lived with lots of her cousins with her grandmother. Life was so hard because of racist system called apartheid. Mariam believed that music is magical that could help her escape from apartheid and poverty. She sang with a group, and one day she was super excited that her group was scheduled to sing for a royal family, King George VI. Sadly, after the children waited in the rain to sing, the king drove by them without stopping to listen to them. Mariam turned that big disappointment into a bigger determination. She went from singing at churches and school to singing with her boy cousin's band and others, but when she joined the girl group called Sunbeam and Skylight, Mariam recorded 200 songs and many became hits. Eventually, she started acting. She was in a musical and then a movie, which made her a celebrity. Harry Belafonte was a famous performer. He decided he wanted to help her when the South African apartheid wanted her to fail. She recorded and won a Grammy Award with Harry Belafonte. Mariam Makiba was also performed and became friends with important entertainers, activists, and artists, including Steve Allen, Paul Simon, Nina Simone, Cecilia Tyson, and Dizzy Gillespie. She was married 5 times. Her most famous husbands were Hugh Masekela and Kwame Ture. She had 1 daughter and 3 grandchildren. The audience really loved her style and her voice, singing jazz, blues, and South African with the quick sound. So she used her talent to speak against South African apartheid and United States racism. Those governments called her a militant and banned her from returning. She could not go home when her mother died. Marion's husband, Kwame Ture, the leader of the Black Panther Party and student of Nonviolence Coordinating Committee, had moved to West Africa. They were still able to travel, speak out, and perform. Marion became a citizen of the world. He had over 9 passports. Mama Africa had so many achievements, it'd take me hours to finish. So I'm going to tell you a few more of my favorites. She loved wearing her natural hair, especially afros. She was a United States Goodwill ambassador. She was awarded a Peace Medal in gold. The world leaders respected her. She met President John Kennedy, the Empress of Ethiopia, Haile Selassie, South African President Nelson Mandela, and others. Her daughter and grandchildren performed on stage with her, but when her daughter died, Marion Cuba took care of her grandchildren. I like how she had determination and became one of the most famous singers in the world. She created her own organization to help protect women and girls in her homeland. Finally, her first worldwide song was Pata Pata. It's my favorite too. So I wanted to end this tribute singing and dancing to Pata Pata. May we remember Mama Africa in our hearts forever. Ashe.
Well, one more impressive tribute. Thank you. I agree.
Finished.
Oh.
She's not done. She's about to sing.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you, beautiful. One more wonderful tribute from our youth. And what I was going to tell you is I agree. You share some wonderful traits with Mama Africa. Your beautiful natural hair, your determination, your clear skill for singing and dancing. And what you're doing right now and participating in this service, you are being a Goodwill ambassador too. So thank you for exhibiting all of those traits of that ancestor that you admire. That's the way it's done, baby. That's the way you do it.
So,
now that we have continued to be inspired by the brilliance and the talent of our youth, if I could ask Baba Ustadi and Mama Angina to even this thing out, balance this thing out, and bring us into our litany of sacrifice, please.
Well, they're a hard act to follow. They're really a hard act to follow. Thank you to Sister Akena for the wonderful work. It has been such amazing thus far. The Coulter Ubaka children are just great, great. So this is a time in our service where we remember that even though we're not together, our buildings still stand. We still have to pay the electricity. We still have to pay for the water. We still have things that we have to do. So this is a time where we can give back to the Most High for the gifts that have been given to us, and to truly thank the Most High for the blessings, for having the money to be able to give back and to participate. So if we can all, the ways to give are on the screen currently. We'll say SAC as well as we'll say Oakland. We have 2 buildings to maintain. So if we can take a nice deep breath and we say, save us, O Holy One, by your name. Vindicate us by your might. Hear my prayer, divine protector. Listen to the words of my mouth. How can we repay the Holy One for the gifts that have been given to us? We will lift up the cup of salvation and call on the God of our ancestors. Gladly, we bring our sacrifices to you, O Holy One, and we praise your name. The first principle is umoja. Umoja. We shall strive to maintain unity in the family, community, and race.
Kujitagalia, self-determination, to define, name, create, and speak for ourselves.
Ujima, collective work and responsibility. We shall build and maintain our communities together. Our brothers and sisters' problems shall be ours to solve together.
Ujamaa, cooperative economics. Build and maintain our own stores, shops, and businesses, and to profit from them together.
Nia, purpose. We shall make our collective vocation to the building and development of our community and the restoration of our people to our traditional greatness.
Kuumba, creativity, to do always as much as we can in the way we can in order to leave our community more beautiful and beneficial than when we inherited.
Imani, faith. We shall believe with all our hearts in our Creator, our people, and the righteousness and victory of our struggle. Baba Ustadi will give us a closing prayer.
Before I say my prayer, all adulations and respect to Sister Akena Latifa Ubaka. I mean, you guys touched my heart with that because I know that's Sydney's granddaughter, but I know that's my baby and Naka's daughter. And I thought she was gonna do the can dance. I was waiting for the can. I was waiting for the can. So much respect. I love y'all. Y'all touched my heart. I don't cry much, but y'all touched me this morning. That to see grandbabies doing that, it really touched me. So much respect, much love to them. Okay. Amin-Ra Patah, Heavenly Father, Divine Mother, Father of my grandfather, Mother of my grandmother. Thank you for our lives, health, and strength. We give you all the praises for us to be together one more time. We woke up this morning not because we could, because Amun-Ra granted us another day to live, and we give thanks. Let us be thankful for what we are now and keep fighting for what Amun-Ra wants us to be tomorrow. Ashe, ashe, ashe.
Ashe.
Thank you for that beautiful prayer, Baba Ustadi. And we will now have the part that you have all come for. We've come for all of it, and we've certainly been enriched. But now we're going to hear from our beautiful minister, Alicia, who always has some powerful words of wisdom to help us move through our week. So I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Please bless us with your beautiful presence, Minister Alicia.
Okay, give thanks everyone, and greetings to you all. Today has been beautiful. We were able to see so many of the youth and how they are growing and maturing in this way and becoming a part of the service. And it's just absolutely wonderful. I enjoyed it all. So today I want to come to you from 2000 Seasons. Hopefully we all have the book. If we don't, then we will be getting it soon, hopefully. So I'm going to be reading page 104. It's chapter 3 called The Predators. And so we're just going to jump right in. It says, "We came away from the desert's edge, thinking we were escaping the causes of our disintegration. The causes running deepest were twin. Among us had arisen a division between producers and the parasites. Chief among the parasites were the ostentatious cripples, men who for no other reason than the need to veil their own atrophy of spirit, wanted to be raised higher than everybody else, even if that raising was merely the pushing down of all of us. Then there was the complementary cause, the predators from without, white destroyers determined on our annihilation, who found in the parasites among us their leaders, the ostentatious cripples, perfect instruments for use against us, perfect weapons for widening splits among us to the advantage of themselves. We came away from the desert's edge thinking we were fleeing ruin, but its deepest causes we carried with us to new places. Within our bosom, we still made room for the inadequate, wanting, stupid, noble privilege. We fed a disease killing us. The other complementary disease, the blight without which the first would have remained mere irritation. That other plague came at us incredible, monstrous from the sea. The thoughtful among us had thought in the new place to search again for the way whose beginning was reciprocity, whose continuation is reciprocity. But here in this new home, wild and strange new arguments arose to stun the thoughtful into silence, to urge the thoughtless to the dance of triumph. For now men rose to cast blame upon the spirit of reciprocity itself for the suffering we had undergone. The men capable of seeing some strange possibility of rebirth in the destruction of reciprocity itself. These men, they had seen in the destructive thrust of the desert's whites against our people a fire to fascinate their souls. They praised the white predator's road, seeing it in the generator of a triumphant violence. On us, they urged the desirability of that road, the road set irrevocably against reciprocity, the road set against our way, the way. Ashe. So today, I'm going to talk a little bit about wherever you go, there you are. So that is the title of today's message. And so first I would like to say, You know, in walking this walk, to the outside person, I'm a little strange. I'm a little weird. I'm that sister smack dab in the hood that's going to sit outside on the concrete, you know, meditating in the sun, cleansing her crystals. I'm the sister who's going to let her kids go outside in the rain to play. I'm the sister who's going to run outside just to see the rainbows. I'm the one who's going to emerge from her house and just run into the, almost in the middle of the street, because in the hood, you don't want to run in the middle of the street. You might get hit. Run into the sidewalk, run outside from her house and lift your arms up to the sky just to receive that vitamin D, just to connect with the Most High in the middle of the hood. I'm also that person who doesn't mind being that weird lady in the middle of the hood, you know, but as I go, as I move forward, you know, there are some times where even I take to hiding my light. I find myself hiding my light at times, because being different from the status quo is not always easy. And I'm just saying true confessions here, as Minister Imhotep says, because sometimes you end up finding yourself in situations where you're vibrating so high, you find yourself by yourself. So sometimes you end up finding yourself with a lower vibration, because on these days, you don't feel like walking alone. Maybe just trying to understand what in the world is this fascination these people have with death. So many around me are interested in these shiny things. So many around me want to spend their time, you know, partying all night, when I just can't wait to be able to sit in silence, to meditate, or just to enjoy those few moments right before you go to sleep. Yeah, I'm that strange lady, that weird lady, standing in the middle of the hood, lifting her hands. But in those moments, I get to receive messages. You know, when I did do that one time, I received the message from the Most High saying, be yourself, be you, no matter who's watching or what they are thinking. That matters not. When you're being yourself, you're being free. When you're trying to be what you think everybody else is wanting for you to be, you end up being shackled. You end up having your light dim. You end up in a place where you feel like you're trapped or back into the corner. And so there is a freedom in being yourself. There's a freedom of being God's seed and not apologize, instead of sitting there having to apologize for it. And being that in everywhere that you go. Most High has given us the wisdom, through the wisdom of our ancestors, this ability to do what needs to be done in our communities and within ourselves. You know, and I'm gonna start talking about the Nguzo Saba. You know, when I first was introduced in the Nguzo Saba and the 10 virtues, I thought these things were going to be easy. I thought these things were a given, until I actually started trying to put them into place. I never realized simply control of one's thoughts were so difficult until I began to start meditating. I never realized how hard Umoja was going to be until I had a family and my children started growing up and having ideas and thoughts of their own. I never knew Ujamaa was going to be a hardship until I made a point to buy Black and found out that buying Black can sometimes be utterly inconvenient, as well at times a little bit more costly upfront. But that's only because of the reality of there being a lack of bank loans for our business owners and a lack of mass community support. These virtues may seem as though they're simple, but they are not where they're out of our reach. While some things involve careful planning and commitment, because sometimes it takes commitment and careful planning to have to say, I'm going to work this Ujamaa. I'm going to make sure that and be conscious of where my money is going. I'm going to collaborate financially with other African people. Mindlessly, we can just go anywhere, spend our money anywhere, you know, but when we're focused in our thoughts and our minds on Ujamaa, we could be in the middle of the store, a random store, and just be like, I should be going to my sister, or I should be going to my brother. And then the more we do that, the easier it becomes, the more part of our life it becomes. And some of these virtues are things that we can put into our spirit, like the 10 virtues. Those things I learned from Ra Nefer Amen, that he has a technique of spiritual cultivation where you, through meditation, you can program yourself the attributes of the Neteru. You can program those things into your spirit through the faculty of Aset, the imagination. So in your mind, if you want to cultivate the ability to control your actions or to tell the real from the unreal, you see yourself in a scenario doing that right thing. You meditate on always choosing the right thing in that scenario, which you have been known, and you pick a situation to where you've been known to do the wrong thing. The situation where somebody's pushing your buttons and you know yourself, because you're an African person, so you're knowing yourself, and you know when people push your buttons, and you know who pushes your buttons, and you know how they push your buttons. So you can go into meditation and you think of this scenario in which this person comes in and starts pushing your buttons. But on the outcome, when you are in control of what's going on, you put into your spirit, what is the divine response? And so you keep working on that until when that person comes by and starts trying to push your buttons, getting ready to get a rise out of you, getting ready to, oh, I know they're going to act up this time. I know they're always talking about, you know, being so high and mighty. So all I got to do is go push these buttons and they're going to start cussing me out. They're going to start, you know, being on my level. After that, they come and they start poking at you. They start pushing your buttons, but you've been doing the work. So all they're going to receive from you is peace. All they're going to see from you is love. All they're going to receive from you is what you have divinely put inside of you. Because we get programmed from the outside all the time. And we unconsciously are programmed from the outside all the time. So what we need to do as African people is purposely reprogram ourselves to do what it is the Most High has shown us that we should do. Going through life, I realized that the desire to control one's thoughts and one's actions, the desire to have devotion of purpose, the desire for unity, the desire for Ujima is not even on most people's top 10 list. Many of us have gone the way of the destroyers or the ostentatious cripples. The way of our ancestors is serious work. It is a work that will have us to throw out those things we held close and to hold close what others will tell us to throw out. The Creator has set a perfect plan and a perfect work within each and every one of us. Brothers and sisters, this will all end in perfection. I hope I didn't spoil the ending of this story for you, because a lot of us seem to think, oh, this is not going to turn out right. Oh, what's the end plan? The end plan is perfection. The Most High has placed the perfect work in us. Therefore, the end result is perfection. And that's just how it is with every single one of us. So I hope I didn't spoil what the ending of that story was, but that's how it is. So we can enjoy the beauty of the path, the beauty of the walk. In this life, we want to cultivate our spirit for progress. We cannot look at what is right with us and call it a character flaw, because negativity comes as a result. If I am nice to you and respectful to you, and you take advantage of me, that is your character flaw, not mine. And many of us turn to see that many times in African history, that the natural hospitality that we possess ends in us being killed, having our land taken, and all sorts of things. So like in 2000 season, some people coped with these things happening by blaming the way, by blaming the goodness of the culture for the fate of the people, instead of blaming the greed and the evil spirits of those who committed those acts. And we see that a lot. Oh, we're just so hospitable, and then people just come in and take control of everything, and then we're blaming the way. Maybe we shouldn't be so hospitable to people. Maybe we shouldn't be so kind to people. But the character flaw does not lie in what it is that we value. The character flaw lies in the other person who's taken advantage. So in this climate, I believe that is more pertinent than ever before, that we work on being solid on these basics so much that it becomes part of our character. Consciously and intentionally devote yourself to purpose until purpose for you is just automatic. Consciously and intentionally trust the ability of the master to teach you the truth, and yourself to assimilate and wield that truth until that becomes automatic, until that becomes second nature. Consciously and intentionally free yourself from anger that expresses itself as resentment and collects itself in our liver, causing emotional and physical imbalance. Consciously and intentionally cultivate the ability to distinguish right from wrong and tell the real from the unreal. We should do these things consciously. We should do these things with intention. These are the basics, because nowhere can we go to get rid of these predators and ostentatious cripples if these predators and ostentatious cripples are inside of us. Let me say that again. There is nowhere that we can go to get rid of these predators and ostentatious cripples if these predators and ostentatious cripples are inside of us. Because wherever you go, there you are. In 2000 seasons, we see it was a group of people. I'm hoping that everybody's read this book. If you haven't, I'm just going to try to give you a little backstory real quick. There was a group of people, a group of Africans who had their encounters with people who were coming to invade their land. And they were seeing that some of their leaders were being tricked and duped with shiny things in order to let these people in and have them do whatever they were going to do. They began murdering people and trying to take over everything. And there was a group of them that decided to flee. They didn't know where they could go. They sent out people in front of them so that they can find the way. And then they would come back periodically and say, okay, you guys keep going this way, maybe turn right here. And when you see this mark, turn to the left. You know, they were giving direction. They were scouts. So they had sent them along the way. They had come to this place called the Bog. And it was a place where it was not water and it was not land. So it was a marshy bog thing, and people were not known if they would be able to make it across that bog, because the stories that they were hearing was not to where it was felt like they were safe, because they were talking to the people that were near the bog that they had come across, and they said, so do you know anybody who's gone and come back? And they're like, no, they don't come back when they go. So what they did was decided to go ahead and go through. They went through. There was tragedies that happened. When they finally made it on the opposite end, they finally made it to a place where it was called Anoa. They finally made it to that place of beauty. They finally made it to that place of wonder. They finally made it to that place where they look like they can settle and kind of be at peace and take their time to reestablish themselves. They started finding that the people that they were going with, the people that they were going through all of these things with, had brought along with them the thought process and the mentality of the people whom they left. The parasites and the ostentatious cripples had found a hold inside of some of the people who were there. I call it a demon spirit. It had found a hold of some of the people that were there, and they began to rework the same framework that they had just fled. So they had gone through all these things to escape that massacre of bodies and of souls they had witnessed, only to get into Anoa, a serene and abundant place, a place plentiful, just to find that same demonic spirit that they were fleeing. And that's a lot of times how we find ourselves here. So we have to all make sure that the 10 virtues, that the Nguzo Saba, these things are part of our character, become part of the things that we do. Because many times we're saying, oh, a lot of us, okay, we want to go back to Africa, but we need to go back to Africa with the right mindset. We can't just be Africans in America repatriating into Africa. What are we bringing? Are we bringing that same mindset, that same United States, that same Western, that same ostentatious cripple? Are we bringing that same mindset? Are we bringing a mindset of Ma'at? Are we bringing the mindset of the Nguzo Saba? Are we bringing the mindset of working together? We must work on building Ma'at as a firm foundation in every one of our lives, to the point where one cannot tell you from Ma'at. One looks at you and sees only that light. You walk into the building and everyone gets that namaste vibe, instead of you cloaking yourself in their mischief. Because there is nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, that you will not be where you are. So set those virtues into your spirit and let the Nguzo Saba be those things that you strive to do daily. So much so that this is our character of each of us and the character of Wose. We should be of nothing, we should be of want for nothing that they have. For abundance is ours anyway. They can keep their courts of justice because I can take the wisdom of our ancestors and our elders. They can keep their straight hair. I will take my curly locks. They can keep their views of ownership because I'll keep my views of cooperation and community. They can keep their commercial holidays and I'll take my community celebrations of nature, of values, and of harvest. They can keep their hate and their need to push everyone down so that they can feel tall because I choose to live in love. So all of these things sound great, but it's so hard to do. It's a difficult thing because you're so surrounded. You're so surrounded like the golden child. You're surrounded by evil on every side. You're surrounded by ostentatious cripples. You're surrounded by parasites. And you have to walk through that. You have to shine your light brighter. You have to understand the 10 virtues deeper. You have to implement the Nguzo Saba every day. Every day, we must be creative. Every day, every moment, we have to work with our people. Every day, we must seek unity. We must seek unity in every little piece, in every dot. No, everybody's not the same. So in complete unification, that might not be, but we can unify ourselves on separate points of light and be able to work with each other and be able to build with each other. I don't have to agree with every single thing that you say, but we can agree to work together and we can agree to be free. Because honestly, sometimes you have to think. It doesn't make sense for us to say, I'm not going to move forward with this person unless we agree on everything. Who agrees with everything somebody else has to say? Is there anyone on this platform that agrees wholeheartedly, 100% with every single thing that everybody else has to say? No. But we can agree on one thing and we can work together with that. We can agree on 2 things. We can work together and forward ourselves in that. We have to push this thing through because they have to keep whatever it is that they have that they're trying to place on us. Whatever they have that they're trying to reprogram us with, because we have to control our own programming. So these things, yes, they're hard to do because you're going to be labeled as weird. You may be laughed at. You may be written off. You may be walked away from. So strange you are in doing this work. Because like I said, some of these things aren't even on people's radars. They're not even thinking of doing these things, much less trying to implement them in their spirit. But at the end of the day, we have to realize that we have to look in the mirror or we have to stand in the judgment hall. And you can't run and you can't hide because wherever you go, there you are. And that's one thing that they talk about in 2000 Seasons. When it says, we came away from the desert's edge thinking we were fleeing ruin, but its deepest causes we carried with us to new places. Within our bosom, we still made room for the inadequate, wanting stupid, noble privilege. We fed a disease killing us. The other complementary disease, the blight, without which the first would have remained mere irritation. That other plague came at us incredible, monstrous from the sea. The thoughtful among us had thought in the new places to search again for the way whose beginning is reciprocity, whose continuation is reciprocity. But here in this new home, wild and strange new arguments arose to stun the thoughtful into silence, to urge the thoughtless to the dance of triumph. For now men rose to cast blame upon the spirit of reciprocity itself for the suffering we had undergone. Men capable of seeing some strange possibility of rebirth in the destruction of reciprocity itself. These men, they had seen in the destructive thrust of the desert whites against our people a fire to fascinate their souls. They praised the white predator's role, seeing in it the generator of a triumphant violence. On us, they urged the desirability of that road, the road set irrevocably against reciprocity, that road set against the way, our way. So we don't want to walk that road. We want to make sure that wherever we go, there we are, is a beautiful place. I carry my aunt with me wherever it is I go. I carry my aunt with me if I'm in my living room, if I'm in Wose Sanctuary, if I'm in Wose Zoom, if I'm in the African market, if I'm in Walmart, if I'm in the street, if I'm walking to the train station, if I'm at the community center, whether I have my mask on or my mask off, I make decisions that way. I carry my aunt that way because my aunt is her own reward. I don't need your shiny things. You can keep your shiny things. So, brothers and sisters, we have to, when we get these things put into our spirit, just know that you will be rewarded, because in the end, this is all perfection. So thank you ever so much for your time. And know that wherever you go, you carry Ma'at with you, there you are. Ashe.
Ashe, 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 oh, Ashe. We give thanks and praise for Minister Alicia, for her dedication, for her diligence, for her reflection deeply on who she is and who we should be endeavoring to be, because wherever we go, there we are. Are we going to be bright, shining stars of truth, beauty, and goodness? Or are we going to be imitations of the madness that's all around us? She's sharing with us what we need to understand, that that being different, being different, you know, when we're around folks that are doing all these materialistic, individualistic, selfish things, and we're coming from a different direction, a different foundation. Sometimes that can be challenging. We don't want to be different. Well, yeah, we need to be encouraged and deeply devoted to be different. Being different, being the self that Ma'at within calls us to be different, being one who's seeking to manifest the fullness of the essence of Ma'at that the Most High within calls us to be, calls us to do, and trust unto us. We need to embrace and manifest the teachings of our sacred way, and let those teachings be the guides for who we are, for who we endeavor to be everywhere we go. Like Sister the Minister Alicia was saying, wherever we go, Walmart, Wose, out in the neighborhood or in the privacy of our homes, just do all we can every day we can to be the most Ma'atic, beautiful being that we can be, and never set that aside. So we're going to just extend the invitation right now. If there's some folks here that haven't joined, we'll say if you've been coming but you haven't joined, you found it interesting enough to come repeatedly, or if maybe this is your first time being with us, we want to extend the invitation that you join this community, that you join this sacred way, that where we work diligently to manifest the fullness of the Spirit of the Most High within us, and then take that with us, let it go with us everywhere we go. If you want to join this community, join this sacred way, just unmute yourself and say, here I am, let me in. What do I need to do? And we'll connect with you and accept your coming. Is there one? Is there two? Are there three today who want to be part of this sacred way? Hello? Who are you? Where are you? So I guess we have to trust that everyone here is a member of this community, is a member of this sacred way. And you do it all you can, every day you can, every way you can, to always be that being, that power, that force of truth, beauty, and goodness. Ashe.
Ashe.
Ashe. Oh.
Ashe. Oh.
Well, we just need it always, like we're always blessed when Minister Alicia comes forward and just lays it out. Let her heart, let her spirit reach out to our hearts and spirits, and we are blessed once again with that message, with that light, with that power, with that love. That she came here today one more time, and she was who she was, who she is. Oh, she. Thank you so much. Thank the Most High. Ashe. All right, so
we're going to have our Lift Every Voice and Sing one more time. We're going to bring the beautiful Watoto of Georgia, led by Heru, singing Lift Every Voice and Sing.
This early in the day? Well, I guess there's other places for us to go to take this sunshine, take this power with us. Well, that's the way it goes. But yeah, the young people have been magnificent today, and the folks that are working with them, that's what we need to be doing. We got to teach our children, and they will teach us if we teach them. And if we don't teach them, they'll teach us something else. And we don't need to be learning anymore. Ashe. Okay, lift every voice and sing. Let's do it.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmony of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise as a listening sky. Let us resound loud as the rolling seas. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Sing a song full of the place that the dark past has taught us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. Stony the road we trod, bitter the chastening rock, melting the days when hope unborn has died. Yet with a steady beat, have not our weary feet come to the place for which our fathers sighed. We have come over the way that the dark past has brought us. We have come over a way that the dinner has taught us. Out from the gloomy past, till now we stand at last. Where does our star, the morning star, is cast? God of our wearies, God of our silent tears, God who has brought us thus far along the way, God who has brought our mind, let us into the light. Keep us forever in the path we pray. Bless our feet, stray from the places our God will never be. Bless our heart, drunk with the wine of the world we forget. That knows beneath thy mind, let us into the light. Keep us forever in the path we
Ashe, ashe, ashe. And I just want to say before we end the service, conclude this particular part, I just want to put out a big thanks to my grandson, Adisa, 7. Hey, and I hope I got it right. There we go. Nasette, that's Minister Alicia's daughter. Did I get it right? I hope I did. If not, okay, thank you. There's my other granddaughter, Aquia. Fantastic job, beautiful. Jalea, I'm holding you up. My teenage grandson, Heru, I'm sure he's being a teenager, so he's not going to show up. It would be nice if he stuck his head in. And the youth group that that performed, you guys have all done a fantastic job. In the book of Songs, it says, generations pass away since the first day of creation. Is Heru did stick his head in there? Hey, Heru. Generations pass away since the first day of creation, and other generations come in their place. The splendor of Ra rises in the morning and goes to rest in the west. We're looking at our next generation. We are looking at our future right here, and that we as adults, we're holding you guys up, and we need to hold this up. We need to hold each and every one of them up. This is our future right here. And I just want to say that we follow in the footsteps of our ancestors. And as we sit and we're looking at our future right here, just thank you, thank you, thank you. This has been one of the best days, best services that we've had in a long time. And I love to see more of this. We love, as Minister Makali said, open the door. He said, come on in, hold it up. If you're not a youth, if you have a youth, hold it up. If you're not in a position to do this, then you can support us. You can come in and help support this right here, the movement forward. And so we just want to hold hands in the circle, in this virtual circle, hold hands. I'm giving everyone in here and around. I see Sakina in the background, a big hug. And we want to say that we thank each and every one of you. We want to say in the words as our ancestors have said for so many years, let us all say, Amen.